London, England. Coming up, another edition of the NFL International Series, and it should be a good one, between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now a play fake here on first down. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones in a first down.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Wentz now on first down. It's complete. It's Sproles. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Nice little nifty play for him there. That's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. Throwing now is Wentz. Drops it off to Ajayi. Even with the good footwork, he'll be stopped just inside the 35-yard line. Give him 6 on the play, and that'll make this a second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high power, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Throwing on first is Wentz. Eluding the pressure right. That's into the hands of Wallace over the middle. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. And give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. And he's got it. Well, he did everything but get him in the end zone there, but now they're set up. Golden opportunity, strong opening drive, and they're knocking on the door.
And the way that they did it, now look where they are on the field, all right? This is naturally set up for a running play, isn't it? But with his ability to throw the football, his accuracy on this drive, you might want to think about a pass play in this situation.
Interesting. Time to find out. But now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. And the tight end, Zach Ertz, is key in this offense as we get a look at the starters.
Comes out of the factory known as Stanford, which keeps putting out tight ends. Zach Ertz, one of the better ones we've seen in recent years.
On second and goal, Ajayi, the lone man in the backfield. They'll try to run with Ajayi. And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Jay Ajayi, his second touchdown on the season. And the Eagles drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. Now, this is a crew. They've come out flat their last 2 games, both losses, but just judging by the energy level, they look different here early, and that touchdown shows how.
Yeah, it seems to me that touchdown gets them off the treadmill. Because, you know, you've been on the treadmill. I've seen you work out. You go forever and ever, and it tells you you've gone somewhere, but you're really out here in the same spot. They've exchanged it for an escalator. Still got some hills to climb, but they can get there.
These are good analogies. I run outside sometimes, though. Get some fresh air, a little sun on your face.
A little wind in there.
Yeah, that's right. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it's capped off by a touchdown run by Jay Ajayi. Elliott now to kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. They'll be led out by their quarterback from Central Florida. It's Blake Bortles.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there was also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. The rushing numbers for Fournette from last week, 18 carries, 91 yards.
He's having a nice season, and he knows where he ranks in the league. Don't ever let a running back tell you that they don't know that. They do. So what he's doing now is lobbying the offensive coordinator all week long. Hey, how about a few more touches? He's one big game away from maybe leading the league.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. And now a look at the offense for Jacksonville.
Let's take a look at tight end Austin Seferian-Jenkins, or ASJ as his friends and all announcers like to call him because it's a whole lot easier. Second tight end drafted in 2014, but production was really lacking until 2017 with the New York Jets. At 50 catches, which was more in his 2+ combined years with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
44-yard punt, return of 9. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. On 1st down, Wentz flushed out right. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. Now Wentz. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. Escaping the pressure right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on it at 2nd down.
How about this offense already feeling good about themselves with a touchdown already in their first drive? They've certainly come out firing, even though that one was incomplete.
With the 7-0 lead, more apt to take a shot like that downfield?
Hey, you're one to the good. Go ahead and try and press your advantage.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. On play action, it's Wentz. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Yannick Ngakoue in there to get him for a loss of 5. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Now a play fake. Wentz steps away. And now he'll let this one go deep. Back over the middle. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Well, not that we had any questions, but it's obvious his arm does not hurt today, does it? He does not mind slinging it around.
He is firing that pigskin around the yard.
Yeah, putting it deep downfield, taking shots. Unsuccessful there.
Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage. But instead, he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
Bortles leads the Jags up 1st and 10 right at the 30.
Hey. Green 80. Green 80. Green.
So after the INT, it's Bortles. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. For the Eagles, a look now at the starters on the defensive side of the ball. They're trying to cover up some holes in the secondary. Right now, bottom 5 in the league against the pass at number 28.
And even though that's not the greatest ranking in the world, one thing you can say, they get after the quarterback. They're in the top 10 in the league in sacks.
Green 80.
On the ground, this is T.J. Yeldon. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Brought down by Nate Gehring.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
Green 80.
Throwing his Bortles on 3rd down. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Fletcher Cox in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that, give him clean lanes to throw the football in order to have a better chance to win again this week.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. A tale of 2 extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
Come on now. Come on now. Let's go.
Wentz to throw on 2nd down. And some room to work. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Wentz can pull it down when he needs to, and the 6'5 quarterback picks up the 1st down. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced the ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
From midfield, here's Wentz. Rolling to his left. Breaks a tackle, and he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
That's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Here's Ajayi. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. Dante Fowler in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
But this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over. Are we on the same page here, partner? Because I think they have the right idea. Just take what you can get on 3rd and forever.
Yeah, in real life, I'd say yes. It's just these video games are tempting. You want to go downfield with it.
I like the way you've evolved. You know, you've learned how to play it the Madden way.
12 yards on the return that time. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Set. Green 80.
A fake to Fournette. Now it's Bortles to throw. Wide open receiver complete. Touchdown, Jaguars. Dante Moncrief, his 1st touchdown on the year. And the Jaguars are within an extra point of tying this one up. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This is taken at his 4. Then it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Eagles coming out as they get ready and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down.
Jay's going to go. He's at the 30. Past the 20. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Jay, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Eagles are able to strike quickly for 6. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the 1st quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized it.
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. This one fielded at the 5. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Left side complete, Safarian Jenkins. 1st down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. Tackle made there by Jordan Hicks.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Bortles gives to Yeldon on the draw. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
And that is incomplete. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on third down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
And the Jaguars send out their punter as he's on here to punt it away. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open. And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
After the incompletion, they'll try once more from the 20-yard line on 2nd and 10. Wentz will try again on 2nd down. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down. So negative yardage, a loss of 3 on 2nd down, and that leads to a tough 3rd down call.
Here we go. 20.
Working from the gun, Wentz. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
The Eagles send out their punter now, standing just outside his own goal line. Taken from just outside the 30. So possession goes over here on the punt, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Jaguars getting set to go.
They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. They want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
They certainly thought they had him surrounded and probably thought they were going to get him on the ground and get the sack, but he was able to elude that. And even though it threw it incomplete downfield, if you're a defensive back, you're loving the pressure that you're seeing from your front.
To throw is Bortles. D.D. Westbrook, his intended receiver. And that'll make it 3rd down.
There are a good number of coaches at any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
From the gun on 3rd down, Bortles. Room here to run. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A good pick up there of 20 yards. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. And before they can run another play, the clock hits triple zeros. And time is up on the first quarter. 14-7 is the score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
380.
Fournette, a first down carry. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
On 2nd down, here's Yeldon. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
False start, offense.
And that'll set them back 5. A false start backs them up 5. 1st and 15. After the penalty, it's Fournette. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
On 3rd and long, it's Bortles. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Mike Bennett, he's the one that gets him down. It'll be a loss of 5, and it'll bring up 4th down. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work. I tell you, it's not easy kicking field goals in the best of conditions. Yet in a downpour like we're in right now, it makes it that much harder. And sure enough, they can't convert here.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. Give him 30 yards there.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover 1. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Now Wentz, flush to his, nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that, that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
Bortles going to run the draw with Fournette. And this may be a carbon copy as he'll again be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Malcolm Jenkins up to make the stop. Yeah, I think the blitz there really disrupted the draw.
Yeah, and it's usually when you catch them in a blitz, the draw works pretty well. If you're the offensive coordinator right now, that's visor throwing time, isn't it? Because that's supposed to work in a big way.
Shotgun now for Bortles. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. Now we have Wentz here still down on the ground. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. a first chance for the backup here to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Now we'll get a stoppage here as it appears we've got an Eagle slow to get up. We'll check on his status when we get back. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. On 1st down, Johnston. Jeffrey breaking the tackle. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 23 yards on the play. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it.
And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Dante Fowler in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Looking to throw. Johnston. And he'll get it down here to the 43. Give him 7 on the play. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. The Eagles on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 9. From the gun, Johnston. And he's going to let it go deep. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked by Ronnie Harrison. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
On 1st down, Bortles. He'll check this one off to Fournette. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
On 2nd down, here's Fournette. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14. From the gun, it's Bortles. He's got the hook up to Lee. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down. Bortles now on 1st down. And his throw is incomplete. The intended target, the tight end, Austin Seferian-Jenkins. And that'll bring up 2nd down. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
Still 2nd down.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long.
380.
To throw, it's Bortles. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Bortles. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Lee. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? take whatever you want underneath by all means.
And this one hits at the one, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. A chance for us now to discuss Jay Ajayi. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
Solid way to start the drive, 13 yards, picking up the first.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
And his throw here is incomplete. Nelson Aguilar, the intended receiver, and it's second down. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Play action. Now Wentz. Flushed out right. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, there's a bunch of pressure that time on third down. They nearly got him. Probably should have gotten him, but he's able to escape the pocket. But unfortunately, by then, that play had already broken down.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. It'll be a net of 40 yards there following a 43-yard punt, 3-yard return, and out will come the offense as they take over. The Jags and Leonard Fournette making their way onto the field. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a third down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he gets it to the 32, good enough for a first down. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete. Niles Paul, the intended target. That'll bring up second down. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Back to the air on second down. It's Bortles. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Dante Moncrief that time. And it's third down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things.
Now Bortles over to the right side, caught by Moncrief. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
A nice job of bringing that in, but why was he so close to the sideline there? They had all kinds of room in the flat.
A little bit of a lack of coordination between him and the quarterback, because both of them should have seen that room that was available, that space. Stop your route a little bit shorter, put it on him, and let him turn and get upfield.
All right, time for us now to discuss Alshon Jeffrey. He's doing what he's capable of, having a solid game. Not the most amazing game. He's not over 100 yards, but a good game so far.
And you just know that mentally, he feels like he's one catch away from turning it into a great game and starting on that road. And the defenders are well aware of that, too. They've got to figure out a way to not let that escalate. Keep him right in this zone here and call it a day, because otherwise he can really decimate them.
Better believe they are well aware of his playmaking ability. Wentz stepping up. He's going to keep it. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a 1st down. So the youngster able to use the legs to pick up the 1st.
And one of my pet peeves when they see this guy play, when Carson Wentz takes off running the football, I always hear people go, oh, he's sneaky athletic. No, he's athletic. Watch him do it. It's an integral part of the quarterback run game, and he gets it done very, very well.
You don't like sneaky athletic, do you? That's just kind of a jab in the back.
Yeah, not when it doesn't apply. I think that's a stereotype that needs to be broken down for him. It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
Now it's a Johnny. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That one good for 15 and a 1st. 2 minutes remain here in the 1st half. My good friend Charles and I right back at you after this. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
But now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
He's thrown 1 interception already, and that doesn't necessarily mean the rest of the game is going to go like that. But it does seem that he's a little bit off in his approach to this one.
Yeah, it does, and that was a risky throw right there.
Got to be careful about taking care of the ball, making sure you get back within yourself. I mean, those mechanics that they work on all the time, they're there for a reason. Kind of get back to those and maybe tamp it down a little bit.
And he'll be tackled right on the midfield logo. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave him with a 3rd down and 6 to go.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable 3rd down, because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's got his man. That's Wallace. Yeah, he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the 1st.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
We used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better. That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. Malik Jackson there to make the stop.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
So they need 2 yards here on third down. Remember, they're already 2 of 2 on third down conversions on this drive. This is a Jay. And down inside the 15 he goes. Calling a gain of 10, and they pick up the first. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. So we've reached halftime. Well, why don't we hold off on the halftime update after all? Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the second half in Week 8 in the NFL. As they say here in London, all to play for as we are back underway in the second half. Fairly short kick, taken at the 14 here. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Out come the Jaguars now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Bortles now to throw. He's going to air one out. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Jaguars. A big play there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Jaguars are within an extra point of tying this one up. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
So all square here in this third quarter as the kick's away. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other.
A battle for it, and it's intercepted. A.J. Boye with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Okay, it's real simple to say from here, but we know that sometimes as a quarterback, you've got to know when to say when and just throw it away. Flushed out to the right, tries to make something out of nothing here, and he winds up floating one downfield. I think it's intercepted.
Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Lee. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Again, it's Fournette. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. It leaves them with 3rd and just a yard.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
The Jaguars on third down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Working from the gun, it's Bortles. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line. And out now come the Eagles. And last time, one-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one. One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. An Eagle first down, Wentz to Ertz.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work, and that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a first down.
Hang in there now. Hang in there now.
Wentz now on first down. Steps away to his left. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Like the footwork back there, I thought he did a pretty good job of evading that first wave of players. Tried to buy a little extra time out of the pocket, but in the end, oh, that was a tough one.
Yeah, winds up getting buried for the loss. Now Wentz throwing on second down. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at third down. The Eagles on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Throwing now is Wentz. And that is incomplete.
So this is what happens when you throw interceptions. That confident veneer that you have gets chipped away a little bit. Maybe a little bit gun-shy throwing it around.
Yeah, underthrowing him there, and you're right. Those interceptions maybe in the back of his mind. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. Good open field tackling there. A 50-yard punt followed by just a 1-yard return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. Bortles on the give to Fournette. And he will fight his way forward to about the 23-yard line. Fletcher Cox there for the tackle.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Now Bortles. This is Yeldon on the dump off. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. And it's Bortles, the quarterback, slow to get up. Looks like he's going to need a moment or two. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. And the Jaguars send out their punter. He's been terrific so far. Now Sproles. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency. Move the ball, at least a few.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Yannick Ngakoue in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Wentz going to throw. Drops it off to Ajayi. And he'll lose yardage on this one back to the 13. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop, but that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
That's into the hands of Wallace over the middle. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being.
And that's caught inside the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And give him a gain of 37.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10.
Here we go.
Throwing on first is Wentz. Forced out to his left. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on 1st down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
Let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Darren Sproles, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Eagles have moved out in front. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Elliott now to add the extra point. Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead is now 21-14. A drive that time of 6 plays, and the capper, a 19-yard touchdown run. Elliott now to kick this one away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And he's all the way up across the 40 and down at the 42-yard line. Great return.
That strong return has set them up nicely for this drive, and we all know the next score is going to have a major impact on this game.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Blue Lightning. Blue Lightning.
And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. Lee's got it over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a 1st down. Here's a give to Fournette. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Here we go now.
And the blitz does come. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Touchdown, Jaguars. Marquise Lee, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Jaguars are within an extra point of tying this one up. Extra point tacked on by Lambo. And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the...
Now a hit and a loose football. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
As that ball got away from him,